guys, Jim Rat Pack back in the house with myself, Larry Olabami Wall, and
Damien actually back in the house.
yes, he was on sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, and
Billy Ray Valentine.
You forgot the Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here as actors and gym rats to give you our perspective on everything entertainment, especially movies and TV. So yeah, we've got a few topics today. The first topic is quite somber and sad, and it is the we're finding out today that it's the death of a top talent manager in Hollywood called Chris Huvane, who has sadly passed away at the age of 47 from an apparent suicide. This touches me quite personally because I actually used to talk to Chris on Instagram quite a lot. Obviously we have a mutual love of boxing. He used to train in the Justin Fortune gym. He used, as well as representing Chadwick Boseman, he also represented Frank Grillo, who trains at that gym as well. And he was a really nice guy from my account and from all other accounts. He was a really nice guy. So I'm just going to read you the article, and it comes to us via Variety. And it says, Chris Huvane, a partner and manager at Hollywood firm Management 360 and former magazine editor and PR executive, died Sunday night. He was 47. The cause was an apparent suicide, according to Deadline. Huvane had been open about his battles with depression. He is survived by two brothers, Slate PR partner Stephen Huvane and CAA managing partner Kevin Huvane. His clients at Management 360 included Margot Robbie, Julianne Moore, Zoe Deutsch, Zach Braff, and the late Chadwick Boseman and Margaret Qualley. We are devastated beyond words this morning. Chris was simply the best of the best, Huvane's partners said in a statement. A brilliant manager, consummate colleague and friend, a rock of our company and our culture, beloved by every single person who ever met him. It's an incalculable loss, and our hearts go out to his family and friends. We are all better for having known Chris, and we commit to honouring his legacy every day forward. Born in New York, he started out at HBH Public Relations and went on to become senior West Coast editor of GQ. In 2010, he joined Management 360 and was promoted to partner in 2015. He served as a co-producer on the film Mark Steven Johnson film, Finding Steve McQueen in 2019, and had an exec producing credit on the reality series It's a Brad World about Brad Goreski. Huvane had a small role in Joel Schumacher's 2000 film Tigerland and also appeared as a waiter in Sex and the City. In addition to his brothers Stephen and Kevin, he is survived by his wife Cole Huvane, a sister Denise Whalen, brothers Michael and Robert Huvane, father Martin Huvane, nephew Declan Huvane, and former sister-in-law Ruth Ann Huvane. It then goes on to say, if you or anyone is having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which I really hope that anyone who is suffering from any sort of mental illness and are contemplating suicide do that. That's the US one, the UK one, or whichever country you're in must have one. Please seek help. It's really important that you do that. I know, obviously, as I said, it's personal for me because I actually was speaking to this guy, for quite a while on Instagram. But I mean, can I go to you firstly on what do you think about this news?
Well, first of all, men kill themselves a lot more than women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not because women don't try to kill themselves. It's because men are more aggressive with their methods as men. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be, whereas a lot of women back out but men are very ruthless.
Mm.
You know, like it comes from like just your testosterone. It's just being a man.
Yeah.
You're just like, right, I'm doing it right, like,
Yeah.
and it's going to be something brutal sometimes where there's no going back.
Mm.
Obviously, I think I haven't come across many people that haven't suffered with depression at some point in their life and had very low moments. Obviously, as you know, I worked with people that suffered from mental health for like 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm very, very involved with, or have been involved with. Not as much now. I've, you know, given to my community for a while. So taking a step back.
Of course.
But yeah, it's always the people you least expect. Once again, the people that shout the loudest, it's not usually them. You just get the phone call and you're like, no way.
Yeah.
No way. You know, they're because they're more calculated, they're more ruthless. But the people that scream the loudest, it's the quiet ones you worry about.
Yeah.
They're the ones I worry about. But yeah, over recent, you know, years, obviously mental health has been talked about a lot more with men. In circles, like it's not taboo anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
It's starting not to be
in our circle.
Yeah.
It's not taboo. Like if something's getting you down, just spit it out. It's getting you down. You know, you're at a low point. You know, you do have to reach out. No man is an island and all that. Big boys don't cry shit.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. So it's just something that needs to be out there all the time. Look, how successful was he? His whole family was successful.
Yeah.
They had generational wealth. And like the discussion we had about him earlier, doesn't mean you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a prime example.
Well, this is it. Like, I'm okay and I'm broke. You know, them ones. I'm just okay.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, like Larry said, it's about support. It's about knowing that there are many things out there, many support groups, many numbers to call. You know, there's many links that people don't know's out there.
Yeah.
There's like Mind, the charity Mind.
In the UK, you mean?
Yeah, in the UK, for example. There's obviously going to be other things in other places. So wherever you're, just look. Just look.
Please.
It's there. Speak to your doctor. You know, there's lots of little things. So that's how I'm out for seeing Panda.
Yeah, I mean, he apparently, I mean, I never knew until after his passing that he was very upfront about his depression, because it never came up in the numerous conversations that we had over Instagram. I mean, we talked mainly about boxing. I think that's obviously he was Chadwick Boseman's manager, and I was a big admirer of Chadwick Boseman, and that's when I started speaking to him. But then I also saw him boxing in Justin Fortune's gym in LA with Frank Grillo, who he also represents. So I used to talk to him about that. And what everyone in Hollywood that's found out about this news has come out and said what a nice guy he is. And I can echo that, because he even, when I said to him, I go, you know, explain that I go to pilot season a lot in LA and I would like to, you know, take him on the pads one day. And he was like, yeah, man, I'd love that. You know, this is a top Hollywood manager. You know, he has a lot of power, and he's like willing to have a conversation with a nobody like me and be like, yeah, I want you to take me on the pads. You know, I can only speak to how down to earth he is. He was.
Don't say nobody though.
You
see, it's things like that.
That
you might. Nobody's nobody.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Everybody's somebody. Yeah.
But Damien, what you hearing this news? What do you make of it, and what are your thoughts?
I mean, first of all, condolences obviously to his family, and the friends of those that knew him. I mean, as Leon touched on, mental health obviously been something that's come up a lot more in the last 3 years, or last 2 years, should I say, COVID inspired or not. It's a hard one for me to talk about, just because I lost a very good friend a long time ago to suicide as an actor, and like a lot of people that I know at the time that I surround myself with, he was a very positive, outgoing person. You would never know anything was going on with him. And the week before he took his own life. I had seen him, and we were talking about putting the theatre company together. And and he was gone literally like the next day. And it was very hard to put those two things together, because it was someone that I knew and I admired, and I never saw any kind of broken shell of a person there. And then all of a sudden you don't know what's going on with people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And again, like the idea of not speaking up, I think is a very much stigmatized thing on men. I think as a sex, we are told to, you know, stiffen up. I was very much growing up like that. You don't talk about your problems, you get on with it and you deal with the issues. And but to cut a long story short, so the last 3 years I've been going through something personally myself. And I won't get into that. But it was a very, very dark period. And if I hadn't spoken to a few people, I reached out, I had counselling for a while myself. If I hadn't done that, there were a few decisions that I had contemplated and gone through very, very close with at the time. But it's because I spoke to people that it helped me deal with what I was dealing with and open up and get that support. And it's very hard, I think, when you hear about someone of his ilk that comes from money, but comes from a place where he's established himself, he's worked hard to get there, and he's surrounded by people he loves, and he's got that career he's always wanted to have, that suddenly he's gone and he's chosen to do it, because at the end of the day, he chose to do that. He chose to take his own life, and that's a very hard thing for people to contemplate. You can walk outside tomorrow and get hit by a car, you didn't choose to do that. But to sit there and think and go through with that's a very, very dark place to be in. And it's a very, 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 very hard thing to contemplate. So again, to echo Leon's point and to mention Larry's point earlier, that there are so many places you can reach out to, so many people you can just have an open ear to, even for a few seconds, just to unload whatever your problems are, because no problem is bigger than you making that decision. No problem is bigger than that. You can talk it through, you can, you know, have it out. And I think we need to move away as a society from this idea that, you know, problems need to be bound up and held inside, and that no one wants to be there or care about it. So yeah, that's pretty much my.
I mean, we're talking about your friend, your friend who killed himself. That actually reminds me of a former boxer, former Olympic medalist, Darren Sutherland, who killed himself quite a while ago when I was a professional boxer. And as you two said, you would not know that this guy was planning, because I remember he did it the night after he came to watch me box. He came to watch me, and that was on the first time Tyson Fury fought John McDermott. So I was on that bill. Ian Napa was on that bill. I think it was the main event. And I saw Darren Sutherland. You know, we talked. We just sometimes trained together. He was as upbeat as I ever saw him. No point. He said, you know, congratulated me on winning my fight. And then the next day, you know, we're hearing that he's taking his own life. So you just never know. So even the people who you might, you know, who might be smiling up in your face, always just check on them.
Look deeper.
Always check up on your people. If you don't hear from them,
surface.
if you don't hear from them, please check up on them. You know, as I said to a lot of people, and as these guys know, I always say it: just because people are doing well financially and in their career, it does not mean they're happy.
And is a great example,
right? You know, so you know, do not envy people, because you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. And just live your life. You know, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people have, because then that just leads to these, you know, these kind of things.
I'm failing. I'm not doing well. I'm not providing.
Exactly. Everyone's got problems. No, regardless of how rich and successful they are, as you can see. I mean, the other day, unfortunately, we heard about the passing of Regina King's son through suicide. And look how well she's doing. People just, you know, this is life. And so people should
look after the mind first.
Right.
And then deal with the money.
Right. But just because you have the money and the fame doesn't mean that you're happy. So just always, please, guys, please try and remember that. And just look after each other, man. And please check up on your people. yeah, but I want to echo what Damien said. Condolences to the Huvane family, if you have any if you've had any dealings with Kevin Huvane, please leave us some comments down below and let us know what a nice guy I know he was. Leave us some comments down below and let us know what you think.
And if you are watching this and you are dealing with something personally yourself, again, I would definitely echo reach out. There are many services out there that can help. They are free. Whether it's mind, whether it's mental health charities, just reach out.
And wherever country you're in, there must be something there. Please reach out.